Perfect.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to SWAC Talk on this Southern Saturday. Man, y'all gotta bear with me today, man. I'm feeling really good, man. You know, I was down I was down bad a couple days ago. I'm good now. Got a lot of celebration going on. If your school got Southern in the name, this day is for you. TSU, SU, man, salute to y'all for winning SWAC championships, but also salute to UAPB and Grambling for putting on great efforts, man. Great season for Grambling. Really wish it didn't end that way. Honestly, man, if any team deserved to win the championship, is Grambling. But they came up short. They fought hard. They came up short. But what a tournament, man. Chaos from start to finish. This tournament had it all. And I'm gonna come back tomorrow and I'm gonna do an overview of the whole thing. But 8 seed winning the tournament, 7 seed making the women's final. Man, you can't ask for much more than that in a tournament. I hope y'all was able to watch, go to the games or whatever, man. I hope you was able to enjoy and indulge in this SWACtion because it was really, really great. So, man, go ahead and hit those socials up, Facebook, SWAC Talk, Instagram, SWAC Talk, Twitter, SWAC Talk 76. Like the video. Please hit that like button. Hit the subscription button while you're here. And hit that notification bell, man. Do all them things and you'll be super straight with everything that we do, man. So, like I said, we got tomorrow, I'm going to do a whole recap of the tournament itself, what, the highs, the lows, what I liked, what I didn't like, and all of that. But today is all about the last 2 games, man. The SWAC championship for the women and SWAC championship for the men. Great games, both of them, great games. Grambling, they definitely fought, and I'm going to talk about that. Pine Bluff represented. That team was a team that I during the season, man, I feel like they underachieved. And I feel like they could have had a better spot in the standings. But they were up and down all year. But this was a dangerous team, man. They got height. This year, the team got better shooters. And they're gonna be bringing back a lot of these players next season, so don't miss out on Coach Diva and the rest and UAPB next season, man. Because on the Diva coach and UAPB, because they're gonna be getting it in next season. It's gonna be a war for the SWAC title next year. But Southern came out on top. Great effort from the Lady Jags, man. They fell down by about 6 for multiple stretches of the second half, and toward the end of the third quarter, went on a run. And ultimately, they were able to pull this one out. So Southern led this game 12-10 after 1. And really up until about the last minute and a half, 2 minutes of the second quarter, Southern had the lead. Pine Bluff went on a quick run toward the end of the first half to go into the half of 26-24. And like I said, that was in part to a nice 6 or 8 point run at the end of the half to get them the lead. They were able to stretch it out to about 6 and outscore Southern in the third quarter 15-14. But Southern, they were cold from 3 in the first half, couldn't make a 3, was 0 for 7 in the first half from 3, started hitting shots, and they would outscore Pine Bluff 24-12 in the fourth quarter to win by 9, 62-53. This was, the final margin is not indicative of how this game was. This game was a battle all game long. Both teams went hard. Pine Bluff went hard all game long. They started off a little slow, but they were able to get their footing and use them twin towers they got to really kind of keep themselves in the game. But they were led by Demetra Shepard with 13 points. She also had 7 assists on the night, um, 4 rebounds as well. She was 4 of 10 from the field, 3 of 5 from 3, and 2 of 6 from the line. She also chipped in 1 steal. Mallory Davenport had a double-double, 12 and 11, 12 points, 11 rebounds. So she was big time in the middle. She had 6 of 9 shooting, 0 for 1 from 3, and 0 for 2 from the free throw line. Maya Pete and Kariah Beck both had 10 points each. Beck was 3 for 9 from the field, 1 for 3 from 3. And she had 5 rebounds and 3 of 7 from the free throw line. Pete, 4 of 10 from the field, 2 of 5 from the line. She had 4 rebounds as well. Beck had 2 steals. Pete had a block. So Pine Bluff, like I said, they fought hard, man. They finished the night with 35 rebounds, 16 fouls, 12 assists, 13 turnovers, 2 blocks, and 4 steals. They shot 37% from the field on the game. They were 4 of 15 from the field in the first quarter for 26%, 6 of 12 in the second for 50%, 5 of 9 in the third for 55%, and 4 of 15 in the fourth for 26%, giving them a total of 19 of 51. From three-point range, they were 5 of 15 for 33%. First quarter, they were 0 for 4. Second quarter, they were 2 for 2 for 100%. Third quarter, they were 2 for 4 for 50%. And fourth quarter, they were 1 for 5 for 20%. And the thing that I think is, if you look at anything that you want to point a finger at, is free throws, man. They were 10 of 26 from the free throw line for 38%. You are not going to win. You're not going to win very many regular season games shooting 36% from the free throw line, let alone a championship game. So if there was one avenue that they had that could have helped them win this game, it was missed free throws, including missing 3 free throws on a 3-point shot. So, those are things that, kind of come back to haunt you in games like this. But they did, they played their hearts out, man. This team played really hard. They had 22 points in the paint, 4 points off of turnovers, 19 second chance points, 2 fast break points, and finished with 25 bench points. Game had 3 ties and 6 lead changes. Southern was led by Genovia Johnson. She was all over the court doing her thing, man. She's like a Tasmanian devil. She's always all over the field, man. She even hit a few mid-range and deep twos. But she's a relentless driver, and she's going to get to the basket, draw fouls, get to the basket and dish, get the basket and knock down a tough shot. And she was the energy for this team throughout this tournament. She just, she's a leader, and she pushes this team, and they go as she goes. So she finished with 18 points and 5 rebounds. She also had 3 assists, 8 of 18 from the field, and 2 of 2 from the line. Monty McWayne, 15 points and 6 rebounds. She was 6 of 15 from the field, 3 of 9 from 3. Really cold shooting first half, but hit some big threes in the second half. Like I said, she finished with 6 rebounds and 3 assists. Taylor Williams finished with 10 points and 5 rebounds. She was 2 of 7 from the field and 6 of 6 from the line. And really, like I said, really, when you look at what Southern production, they didn't really get a lot from a lot of people, man. They just were able to go on important runs when they needed to. They finished with 43 rebounds. They out-rebounded Pine Bluff by 8. The effort that Southern put on the boards in this game is something that you cannot overlook. This was a team that was much taller than them, and they were able to out-rebound this team by 8, including on the offensive boards. Southern finished with 17 offensive rebounds in this game to Pine Bluff's 13. So they really controlled the boards on both ends. 17 offensive boards, 26 defensive rebounds. They had 19 fouls on the night, 10 assists, only 9 turnovers. This is the second game in a row this team is taking great care of the basketball. They had 1 block and 7 steals. They finished the night shooting 37%, 24 of 64. They were 6 of 15 from the field for 40% in the first quarter, 6 of 19 for 31% in the second quarter, 4 of 18 in the third quarter for 22%, and 8 for 12 in the fourth quarter for 66%. They were 5 of 17 from 3 on the night, giving them a percentage of 29%. They were 0 for 3 in the first quarter, 0 for 4 in the fourth quarter, in the second quarter, 2 of 5 for 40% in the third quarter, and 3 of 5 in the fourth quarter for 60%. So they're shooting skyrocketed in the fourth quarter when they needed it. They really found the range. They really hit the tough shots, and that's what helped them go on their run late to close out this game. They were 9 of 12 from the free throw line, which is, if you watch me, you know I've harped on Southern's free throw shooting all season, and they've really not shot the ball well all season from the line. But they shot the ball well this game. They did not have a free throw attempt in the first half. They did not get to the line at all in the first half. So second half, they were 4 for 6 for 66%. And in the fourth quarter, when you need to make free throws, they were 5 of 6 for 83%. Ultimately finishing 9 of 12 on the night for 75%. So big victory for Southern. Like I said, this is a team that really found a way to get this done, man. You cannot overlook the effort that this team put on. They were able to get 24 points in the paint as well. They got 10 points off of turnovers, 11 second chance points, 6 fast break points, and 16 points off their bench. Just a really, really great outing for both teams. Like I said, this was a game, man. If you were a neutral observer, I think you could easily get into this game and watch it, because I think both teams really fought hard. And honestly, neither team, that seed that each team had on side of their number, on side of their name, I don't think was indicative of either team. You know, I mean, Southern, they finished tied for second, but due to tiebreakers, they ended up in the fourth spot. They could have, you know, depending on if they would have been tied with any of the teams individually, they would have been second place. So they were definitely a little bit lower than they probably should have been. Pine Bluff, like I said, throughout the season, you know, they were in the mix, but they faded a little, and they ended up seventh. And that's a dangerous team to have as a 7th seed, because they can beat anybody that they play. So that made for, you know, seeding wise, it looks weird, but team wise, I think these two teams were really, you know, they were really meant to be there. And they both played their butts off and made it to the end. One thing I do want to say about Southern before I move on to the men's game is a lot of people don't realize the consistency that Southern's women's basketball program has had. Since 2006, this team has not won less than 10 games in conference play since 2006. You know, they've won SWAC championships regular season. They've won tournament championships in that span. But this team has not finished worse than 10-8 since 2006. So that's through Coach Pugh and not Coach Funches. This may not be a team that wins a championship every year, or they may not be in a SWAC championship every year, but this is a team that's always going to be in the mix year in and year out, even with the talent level of some teams growing. This team is still consistent. They're consistent. And I don't think that the coaches get the flowers that they deserve for the effort that they do. I was really negative on Southern's men's coach on Thursday, so I want to be super positive on the job that Coach Funches is doing on building on what Coach Pugh had already put together at Southern. So this program continues to be in the mix, and you know, now they have a SWAC championship, and we'll find out tomorrow night where they end up at. The women's selection show is at 7, so they'll most likely be in the play-in game. So we'll find out who they play and win. So that takes us to the men's side, and again, another topsy-turvy tournament. TSU does what they do, and that's win in March. I say it all the time. This team is built for March. You know, they did not have a great season. Injuries. You know, they got off to a slow start. They finished losing their last 3 and barely made it in, and they won this thing. And they showed that when healthy, this team is probably the best team in the league. If healthy, this team would have won a regular season championship. I stand by that. I stand on that. I believe that. So this team is what they, you know, this is no fluke. You don't win 3 championships in a row by mistake. You know, you don't do what they did by mistake. And Coach Johnny Jones has got these guys always believing in the system and buying into what they do. And it showed today. Grambling got off to a slow start. They fell behind, 15, 18 points, ended up going into the half down by 13. But the mark of a good team is that they make adjustments and they come out the half strong, and that's what Grambling did. They came out the half, got in a zone defense, kind of mixed it up on TSU, kind of threw off their rhythm a little bit. Coward and Moulton both hit some big shots. I know Moulton really got hot, and made a couple of tough shots and they chipped away at that lead, man, and they got themselves into a tie situation a couple of times. But PJ Henry, if you don't know that name, learn it. PJ Henry got hot again in the second half. He was cooking in the first half, kind of cooled off, hit a couple big threes late to help TSU extend their lead. They knocked down free throws, they played some defense, and they were able to escape and make it back to the NCAA tournament, win a SWAC championship. So looking at the stats, Henry led TSU with 19 points. He was 5 of 18 from the field, 4 of 8 from 3, and 5 of 7 from the line. He finished with 5 rebounds, 1 assist, and 1 steal. Also, John Walker had 14 points. He was 4 of 10 from the field, 1 of 1 from 3, and 5 of 6 from the line. He finished with 3 rebounds and 4 assists and 5 blocks. He was all over. He was a monster down low, blocking shots, making things tough on Grambling. Also, Devon Barnes, 13 points on the night, 8 rebounds, 1 assist. He finished 4 of 7 from the field and 5 of 8 from the free throw line. Carl Nicholas, 7 rebounds as well. The bench didn't really get a lot of points. They only got 9 points off their bench, but they were able to play good minutes and make plays. I mean, they were able to do some things here and there to keep them in the game. TSU won this game shooting 30%, 16 of 53. So to beat a team like Grambling, you're not going to shoot a high percentage against Grambling, number one, because they play such tough defense. But they were able to win this game shooting 30%, winning by 361 to 58. They shot 41% from the three-point line, 5 of 12, and they were 70% from the free throw line, 24 of 34. First half foul trouble was a problem for Grambling. Cameron Christian missed the majority of the first half with 3 fouls. Jonathan Aku had 2 fouls for a long stretch of the first half. Joshua Phillips had 2 fouls in the first half. So foul trouble, and they could not hit the water falling out of a boat in the first half. They just could not find the rhythm. The shots were going in and out. They would get looks that I know Grambling would make 100% of the time, 85% of the time, and they just could not knock them down. But second half, like I said, they came out, they made some adjustments, and the shots started to fall, and the defense started picking up, and they were able to kind of get TSU out of sorts for a while, but big shots from Big Shot Henry were able to keep them in the lead, and Grambling never was able to take the lead, because I feel like if Grambling was able to take that lead once they tied it up at 46, I think if Grambling could have took the lead, they would have ran away with that game, because they had all the momentum on their side, and TSU was just struggling to find something that worked. Grambling was led by Aku with 11 points. He also had 10 rebounds, so he had a double-double despite fouling out in this game. He also had 1 block. He was 4 of 7 from the field, 3 of 7 from the line. They got 12 points from Munford off the bench, 5 of 10 shooting, 1 of 3 from the 3-point line, and 1 of 3 from the free throw line. He also had 3 rebounds. Cameron Christian had 9 points and 5 rebounds. Like I said, he had foul trouble. He finished with 4 fouls. Moulton had 10 points on the night and 2 rebounds and 2 assists. 5 rebounds for Coward. He ended up fouling out. He had 8 points. Grambling ended up with 18 points, with 16 points over their bench. So not a lot of bench scoring in this game. The starters really got it done in this game. Grambling, like I said, they did not shoot well either. Grambling shot 33% from the field, 19 of 57, and 2 of 18 from the three-point line, 11%. Again, you're not going to win games shooting a poor percentage from the field or the line, and that's one thing that hurt them in this game. They shot 69% from the free throw line, 18 of 26. TSU out-rebounded Grambling by 10, 41-31. Grambling had 5 assists, TSU had 10, 6 steals for TSU, 4 for Grambling. Both teams had 5 blocks, 12 turnovers for each team, and 21 fouls for TSU, 24 for Grambling. This was a great tournament. Like I said, I'm gonna come back tomorrow and wrap it up. But congratulations again to the Southern Lady Jags and the Texas Southern Tigers. This is the Texas Southern Invitational on the men's side, man. They're gonna beat up every time. So they continuing that dynasty that they have, and it's gonna be tough for somebody in the conference to knock them off in the tournament because they just know how to win. And this is a new, they have some pieces from last season, but this is a new team, man. These are guys that were bench guys or new guys have stepped up to the plate, and they, whoever they get in the first 4 is gonna be in trouble. I think TSU could win another first 4 game and make it to the tournament itself. Although depending on how bids shake out, I mean, their record wasn't good, so they are gonna go first 4, 14 and 20. You're going to be first 4 regardless. So I think they're going to be able to win a game. And like I said, we'll be back on, we'll go over the matchups, who they play, and all of that when it drops tomorrow. So y'all make sure y'all catch us on another edition of SWAC Talk. Y'all enjoy y'all Southern Saturday. That's Texas Southern and Southern Saturday, man. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all day. And, man, we'll catch y'all on the rebound, and we up out of here. Peace.